Hey guys and girls, it's me coming to you from my quarantined bedroom. I am awaiting test results to make sure that I don't have COVID so that I can come back to you safely, hopefully soon. So I am making another video for you so that you can get through the next lesson. This is problem 2.3. It's talking about interpreting graphs. It's asking you to take a look at the graph and the stories that are given and see if you can match the two. So this is the book page. It's telling you information about variables is often given by coordinate graphs or tables. It's important to be good at reading the story that's given to you in the graph or table to make sure that you can figure out what is happening. So some questions to ask yourself here are, what are the variables? Do the values of one variable depend on the other? That's going to help you figure out if it's a dependent or an independent variable. What does the shape of the graph or the arrangement in the table say about the relationship between those two variables? In this problem, we're going to take a look at some examples, like some graphs that they're giving you here. We have two different graphs, and they're saying that these graphs have to do with the school parking lot. So if I were with you in class, I would ask you right now, what do you think are some scenarios that would take place if this were our school parking lot? And I'm thinking that some of you may tell me maybe graph 2 is what you would normally see during the school day, where there's an incline because all of the teachers and staff members come to school in the morning. And then we have that steadiness throughout the day where all of the cars stay in the parking lot. And then after school, there's a decline because the teachers and staff members leave and go home for the day. Where graph 1, we have kind of the same scenario, but there's that huge peak in the middle, which says something's happening during the day, maybe an assembly or a sporting event or something where we have a lot of parents who come and join us, and that causes more cars to come in the parking lot. And then they leave when that event is over. So what we're going to be doing is looking at some different graphs and different stories, and you're going to get a worksheet with these, and you're going to have to try to match them up. So I'm going to turn my camera over to give you an example, and this is what we talked about yesterday, where we had taken, oh great, nice huge view of me. Let's move that. Where we had taken the variables of customers that were willing to pay for the bike tour depending on the cost. And we put that in a graph, and we were saying that the more the price went up, the less customers were willing to pay. So this is similar to what your worksheet's going to look like. It's going to have several different graphs, and then it's going to have a story. So what I would like you to do is follow a couple directions. The first one is, in your story, I would like you to underline or highlight any keywords that will help you identify the dependent and independent variables. So I have that written out. And the second part of the directions is, I would like you to show those variables in the graph. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of what I'm looking for. In what we worked on yesterday, I have written down the number of customers willing to take the bike tour depends on the cost of the tour. So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to highlight the keywords that I think tell me dependent and independent variables. I'm talking about two things here: the number of customers And I'm also talking about the cost. Okay. Now, something that gives it away that tells me if it's dependent or independent is right where it says depends on, gives it away here. So I know that the number of customers that take the tour depends on the cost. So cost is my independent variable, and that's going to go on my x-axis. See if I can write this here. And then the number of customers is going to go on my y-axis. So I'm just going to abbreviate here. Okay, so I want you to be able to do the same thing on your worksheet. And I'm going to have you take a look on your worksheet at the second story, which is, it's the first story talking about a school trip. It says the number of students who go on a school trip is related to the price of the trip. This is very similar to the example we just did. So I went ahead and I filled that one out for you. To start an example here, get you started, we have highlighted the number of students and price of the trip, and it actually matches up with graph number 2. So I wrote down on the graph where the dependent and independent variables will go. So I want you to do the same thing on your worksheet, and I would like you to work with your turn and talk partner, and I would like you to match up the rest of your stories and graphs. Okay? Try your best, and then when it looks like most of you are done, you will watch another video that shows you what the answers should be. Okay, good luck, and thank you for watching.